Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is like a part 2 to me going live on Friday evening with all of you. Thank you so much for so many of you. By the time I logged off, I think there's like 1,200 of you there. So that's amazing. Thank you for turning up and supporting me. I appreciate that. And I thought like we just needed to look at a lot of things. We needed to look at the future of England and what's going on with Canada and the future of Europe. And so if you didn't watch that video, you may want to check it out. We also looked at that glacier in Antarctica that's melting way too fast. So I have a list of things that we need to look at because there's so much once again. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe, check out membership, because now we're going to be moving on from numerology to automatic writing. If you've ever had a reading with me, you know that I have a tendency to do some automatic writing when I channel your guides, because that's usually one of the things I do in a reading is I try to contact your guides and get their names and how you know them, what they want you to know, and all that good stuff, where you're from, that sort of thing. And yeah, and leave a comment too, because comments, not just does it help my algorithm, but I enjoy reading them. I like hearing from all of you. I appreciate it. And I'm certainly feeling a lot better. Like I told you, I know when I get a flare up, I am not being creative enough. I'm not producing enough in a creative way. So my members got a ton of videos and they're about to get a bunch more. So, so as you know, we're coming out of the full moon energy, that 9/9 portal, the 6 planets that are aligning. I mean, just astrologically, there is just so much going on at this time that I don't think it's very surprising that we had something so significant as a monarch passing. When you have that much going on, it's big things happen, monumentous sort of things happen. And so we also did look at the new king too in the last video, so you may want to check that out. So oh, and I'm also going to finish up with a brand new deck that I have. Well, it's brand new to me. It's called the Animal Apothecary by Cara Elizabeth. As you guys know, I love my animals, so we'll do a 3-card pull on that one too. And if you haven't checked out my website, dianeaquarius.com, there's a new video on there to do a meditation to get a Pleiadian DNA upgrade. And I also am offering new services, an archangel healing and reading for clients, and also one for pets. So something you may wish to check out. And I do have some openings in October, so you may want to take a look. All right, so let's move on. One thing that caught my attention. So as we all know, Mississippi was having some real water issues, and there's parts that's still struggling, and they have a Republican governor named Reeves, and he said something that made my ears perk up that I didn't like. And he wants to privatize the water system. And well, we know how well privatizing worked for Texas with the power grid, right? And so I wanted to take a look at that situation with the water for the future with Mississippi, because obviously that's troublesome to say the least. I mean, these are things that should not be happening in a developed country, in a country like ours. It's not acceptable. People went without water. And the cards are jumpy for this one. Okay, so lots of energy. Lots and lots of energy. All right, so Spirit, what do we need to know about this? What do we need to know? I think this represents the people of Mississippi. Here they are, just trying to persevere. They're trying to put one foot in front of the other. They're feeling a bit beat up. They've been through a lot. And it's over a leader who is kind of cold and ruthless. Because, when the King of Swords isn't either reversed or in the obstacle position. He's great, right? He's analytical, he's intelligent, he's fair and balanced. But when he's either reversed, or my second cards are always the obstacle cards, it's somebody who can be kind of cold and ruthless. And so I'm not feeling so good about Governor Reeves. See? And there's things that we don't know. So he's trying to hide a few things. Okay. I think especially as we start, getting into the midterms and, he's looking at his own future, the future of his party, the welfare of his constituents. There are things that he's not being forthright about. And it's causing a lot of stress, worry, and anxiety. And my guides are saying, not just for the people of Mississippi, but for him too. Because of these things that he knows. Okay, so who's in for the tower? He's in for the tower moment. Okay, my guides are saying he is in for a tower moment where things are going to start to fall apart for him. Because, here's the thing. The tower could take this lightning strike if it had a nice, sturdy, strong foundation, but it doesn't. It doesn't, so it can't withstand it. And so that's him. I think that's him in a nutshell, to be honest with you. So moving on to another governor, DeSantis in Florida. They're having a real teacher problem, aren't they? Teachers are quitting, and I'm going to say it's not a shortage. Okay. I think there's a difference. Like, it's not that teachers don't exist. It's that they have certain standards. They want to be treated a certain way. They want to be kept safe. They need supplies. Just the mass shooting situation is terrible. I think we're asking way too much of the teachers. And then, you throw a pandemic in on top of it. And so what does DeSantis do? He's starting to do things like throw in uneducated people. There's nothing wrong. I love our veterans. There's nothing wrong with veterans, but they need to be qualified to teach our children, don't they? And so let's take a look at that situation with the schools and DeSantis in Florida. And I know that's not just Florida going through this, but it just seems like it's a bit worse, and it keeps catching my attention. When something keeps catching my attention, I know that I need to pay attention, okay? What do we need to know? Okay, so they're really trying to juggle things, aren't they? They're trying to get people in there. They're trying to juggle money. They're trying to juggle human beings actually being there, coming in and actually teaching. They're trying to juggle money and finances. And honestly, it's people's lives. It's their careers. And then it's also the children's education. They're trying to juggle and balance too much. And it's leaving Floridians really stuck. Their hands are tied. What are they really going to do? What is your average Floridian going to do, right? They're stuck. So they're feeling a bit trapped in this situation. And something may actually happen on a legal scale. Here's the Justice card, where a legal body, legal rulings, legislation, something like that comes into play to balance out this situation. Because something has to happen. And this is a real turning point. Let me just ask Spirit, is this a turning point for DeSantis or a turning point for teachers, Floridians? My guide's saying all of the above. But DeSantis is coming into his karmic fate and destiny. The situation, obviously I'm not in Florida, but I think it's really rubbing people the wrong way. Okay? Like maybe that people that once liked him, this is really rubbing them the wrong way. I saw something interesting that caught my eye when I was reading the news online. And it says the top Republican of the House Foreign Affairs Committee said he wouldn't personally store classified documents the way 45 did. His name is Michael McCall. He's a Republican from Texas. And so, like I said, he's the top Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Now, we know that when people speak out against 45, sometimes the popularity wanes, things happen to them, right? They fall out of favor. I thought we would take a look at this guy because we sort of know the pattern, but let's see if the pattern's breaking. Let's see if things are changing. Wouldn't that be nice for once? So Michael McCall. But let me just point out, he did not outrightly condemn 45's behavior. It was not an outright condemnation. He was trying to sugarcoat it, put it nicely. I mean, he got his point across, but still. I mean, we knew what he was saying. But I think, too, they're also afraid of repercussions. They're also afraid of this man and the people that support him. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, interesting. Okay, so his cards are kind of interesting when I pulled them out here. He literally gets 3 pages, which tells me that we're going to be hearing more about him and more about his situation, what he said, repercussions. For someone that I haven't heard a lot about, I think that's about to change. He's represented by the Page of Cups. So, that has to do with relationships, right? So his relationship to the Republican Party, his relationship to 45. There's things that we don't know, okay? I'm questioning if he knows them. I would lean towards a no. So there's things that we don't know, and there could be a reason that he said that, because he is on the House of Foreign Affairs, and we know now some of the types of documents that 45 had stolen, or however you want to word it. I mean, to me, it's stealing. It belongs to us, the people, right? It belongs in the National Archives. But there's more that's going to be illuminated. We're going to be hearing more. Look, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Pages deliver news. So that could be why my ears kind of perked up when I heard about this man, Michael McCall, and that statement. And it caught my attention because there's only 4 pages. He got 3 of the 4. But he is going to continue to move forward with his career. Okay? So interestingly enough, this does not appear to be career ending for this man. But something's going to give, and we're going to start hearing things, I think. I thought we should take a look at California. They've been struggling with having enough water, having drought, their electrical grid. They're really being pushed to their limits, unfortunately. So I thought, let's take a look at California. What is in store for them? What's coming up for them? What do we need to know? And I think we should all just send all of our best thoughts, good vibes, love, prayers, whatever you have, good wishes, good intentions, send that to California, because, with the wildfires, the drought, the heat, they're being tested. Californians are being tested right now. Okay, so Spirit. I feel like they're going to start to pull out of it. I'm getting mid to late October is what I'm getting, is when they start to pull out of this phase of having a lot of these difficulties. And a lot of that could just be simply because the weather starts to improve. Okay. So first card, the Hierophant. I think they do have strong leadership. I think, unlike Florida and Mississippi, their governor's quite a bit different, isn't he? And so I think their leadership's a lot different, a lot stronger, more proactive, instead of just simply reactive. I think, I think he takes, the bull by the horns. But there is grief and sorrow here. There is, some sadness to the situation, but how could there not be? I mean, people are losing their homes. There's a drought. There's problems with the power grid. There's, so many different issues that they're facing right now. But they do end up, the Nine of Cups is a card of happiness, contentment. So they do end up better. And this is a 9 card. So 9, 9s and 10s, something's coming to an end. So, if you're a Californian, this isn't going to last forever. You do become more like solid, grounded, centered, down to earth. Things become more practical, reliable. So I think you're in for some more like positive changes. Okay. Some nice changes. Someone that I'm not that familiar with. It's going to be a bit of a cold read, but that's fine by me. There's someone named Tiffany Smiley. Put in the comments if you know about Tiffany Smiley. She's a Republican nominee for Senate in Washington. So for everybody in Washington, you probably know who she is. But here's the thing. Here's why I'm bringing her up. She refuses to say that Biden was legitimately elected. She's refusing to say it. So yet again, another kind of QAnon mentality. We are like, they're not willing to face reality. They're buying into that big lie. And I don't know if they all buy into it or if they're just caught up in the propaganda of it. But let's see, does this woman stand any kind of chance of being a senator? Her energy feels so strange to me. I'm having a hard time like pegging it. It's off. First of all, let me say it's off. There's something off. Like not somebody that I'd want to spend time with. Like I wouldn't want to immerse myself in her energy. Okay, well, she gets the card of like total loss, 5 of Pentacles, the card of losing it all. So, I mean, I don't think things are so great for her right now. Hopefully the people in Washington are, seeing through this. Her obstacle is, she's not feeling balanced. She's not feeling harmonious. There's nothing temperate about her. She's not feeling great right now. I kind of get the sense like privately she's like lashing out. I'm picking up on like anger, stress, anxiety, but also I keep getting the word obnoxious. She does certainly see herself as a leader. For sure. She does see herself as somebody that can go the distance. She has very high opinions of herself. She sees herself as a very independent, smart, wealthy, rich woman. And then she gets the card of like grief, sorrow, regret, depression. So her cards are a bit all over the place, just like her energy is. So I am thinking that the people of Washington are going to see right through her. She needs to hold it together, and I don't know if she can. I don't know. I thought we would finish up, we'll do the 3-card pull at the very end, but I thought we'd finish up the readings with Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if they have that in every country. I know I have people watching from all over the place, but there's a store, Bed Bath & Beyond, that's not doing very well. They're going to be closing a lot of stores, and they're not just laying off, you know, like say cashiers and people like that, but they're also laying off management and the higher ups. And not that long ago, their chief financial officer jumped from New York's Tribeca skyscraper. And his situation was a bit complicated because he was involved with some other things with the company that was less than savory. That, you know, it appears that there was something going on with what he was doing with the stocks and whatnot. But I thought we would take a look at what is the future of Bed Bath & Beyond? Is it just done? Is this store just done? I mean, it's been a store that I think we've all seen forever, right? We're just so used to seeing the store. But what is the future of it? Does it have any chances of bouncing back, or is this just it? Okay, let's see. Interesting how they come up with the smug merchant. So I think they overestimated things. They overestimated their worth, their capability, the capabilities. They come across as, I mean, that is the saying with this card, right? The smug merchant. And they didn't build the right relationships. They weren't offering people what it is they wanted. And oh, look at this. Look at their outcome. Is brokenheartedness, heartache, grief, sorrow. So I'm going to say that store may not be around. Give it a year or two. It could really plummet, and that's it. So, because I'm sure a lot of you like that store, and I'm not seeing great things for them. So here's the animal apothecary. Get yourself centered as I shuffle. And just think to yourself, you know, spirit, universe, creator, what message do I need to know today? What message do I need to know today? Oh, I like these. Okay. This is my first time working with this deck. So what card do you feel drawn to? 1, 2, or 3? Don't think about it. Go with your gut instinct. Okay, here we go. Card number 1, nourish the shadow. So we all have parts of us that we need to work on, right? And we can't just look the other way. We actually do need to work on those parts of us that we don't like. You know, maybe the part of us that procrastinates or has an addiction or has childhood trauma. Nourish those parts of you. Nourish your inner child, you know, that sort of thing. Number 2, just trust. So often we get into that fear-based mentality, almost like a paranoia, where we lose our where we lose our trust and our faith in the universe. And so go back to that part of you that trusts, okay? And then thirdly, magnetism through gratitude. It's that idea that like attracts like, the law of attraction. What you put out to the universe is what the universe gives back to you. So, you know, be careful of your thoughts. Be mindful of what you say and think. Watch your diet, right? What you say, what you watch on TV, what you're putting in your body, that sort of thing, because we attract whatever we put out. So put out gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal. We've talked about this in book club, right? We actually did this in book club. Be grateful for everything. Every time, you know, you receive something, you know, you may not love your house, but you have a roof over your head. You may not love your car, but it gets you around. So be grateful for what you have, and the universe will give you more, okay? All right, everyone, it was such a pleasure. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe, check out membership, check out my website, dianeaquarius.com. And I look forward to seeing all of you in a few more days. Bye, everyone.